You think you've got my number figured out, a motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design, I blatantly decline your remedy. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. I wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, and if I lose the fight, I still rage against the night. Don't box I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine.
Everyone's having an awesome Thursday. Welcome, everybody. Sorry about that, folks. Had a bit of a late start there. Welcome, everybody. Heat, how's it going? Derry, how's it going? Yo. Jane Doe, how's it going? Welcome, everybody. Howdy. Sorry I missed you coming yesterday. My Chatterino monitor was on the wrong tab. It was terribly embarrassing. Nah, you're good. Thank you. No problem at all. Let me just get everything going. I am not prepared at all today, folks. Michael Hasser, welcome. I am not prepared at all, folks. I'm just going to try to rush everything here. Good thing it's Friday Junior. It is. It is Friday Junior. Whew. Sorry, folks. I'm here just trying to get everything going. Did I get that one? Yes, I did. Okay. Folks, thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate it. If you want to support the channel, there are many different ways of doing so. Consider joining the Discord. We have awesome people in the Discord, and once a month we do movie events. So consider joining the Discord. If you want to keep supporting the channel, there are many different ways. Consider checking out the merch store. I'm really proud of that thing. And consider hitting !tip if you want to tip your streamer. Alrighty, folks. Ooh. It's not letting me... Okay. We have some funny stuff happening. Apparently, Laura Loomer has gotten too racist for even Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think it's better if we just kind of see what's happening.
Human trafficking is not limited to Atlanta. It's taking place in every corner in Georgia.
Sorry, I'm getting ads here. 1 second. Let's get started, folks. There we are.
Apparently, Laura Loomer and Marjorie Taylor Greene are beefing. Now, it's to my understanding that Laura Loomer actually helped Donald Trump prep for the debate along with Tulsi Gabbard. I think at least she was spotted with him on his plane when he arrived in Pennsylvania for the debate. I don't necessarily know if she helped him, but the fact that she's on a plane with Trump, not necessarily the best strategist or, I don't know, advice giver. I feel like Trump surrounds himself with the dumbest people imaginable. Nonetheless, you know, there's going to be a little bit of anger there because Marjorie Greene has been very loyal to Donald Trump. And I kind of feel like maybe he is giving her the cold shoulder. He's embracing Laura Loomer, who hates her. I don't know. Anyways, let's just read this. I'll shut the fuck up. Time to let your friends who understandably left Twitter know they're missing Laura Loomer telling Marjorie Greene she has Arby's in her pants and implying video exists of her using the N-word. Stop.
Yeah,
Wait.
this is where we're at.
Laura... Not Laura Loomer telling Marjorie she has Arby's in her pants. Damn. Bringing roast beef into the conversation. Leave the roast beef out of politics. What are we doing? Okay. Fuck. This is gonna be a long one. Okay. Brian, why'd you share this? Why would you...
A real thing that happened, by the way, between a current member of Congress and a Republican operative, okay? A real thing that's happening. Yeah, all the class. All the class. All the class.
Why'd you do this to me? You know that this is like catnip for me. Hey, Marjorie Greene. Remember when you destroyed your family so you could have sex with
Jesus.
with the Zangief cosplayer?
What'd she do? She's having beef with Laura Loomer, and apparently this happened because I don't know. This happened because Laura Loomer was being a bit too racist. Laura Loomer was being a little bit too openly racist, and Marjorie Taylor Greene decided to call her out, and it kind of spiraled out of control into this. Unfortunately, I kind of want Arby's right now. The last time I had Arby's was probably like a billion years ago. The last time I had Arby's, I'm not even joking, was probably like over 10 years. Over 10 years ago. No, I would say even more. I would say like the last time I had Arby's was probably, here we go with the food talk. The last time I had Arby's was probably closer to almost 20 years ago. No, wait. No, I would say closer to like just under 15 years ago. They used to have the 5-for-5 deal way back when. This entire exchange was pretty funny. The chicken nuggets were pretty good. Arby's had chicken nuggets? Man, I missed that. Maybe I can give them another try, and test out their nuggets. It's not like saying strawberry jam tastes so much like ripe strawberries. Welcome, Cognizant. Well, I guess you'll outlive us all, ADT. No, everybody here is forever, okay? The chat logs are forever, okay? Chat lives forever. Chat lives forever.
I don't even know what that is, but we're off to a great start. Tell me again how you and the Arby's in your pants are represented. The fuck, man? And the Arby's in your pants are representative of the GOP. I'm already crying. I'm 2 sentences into this beef, and I'm crying. God, these people are so fucking demonic, but the amount of unintentional joy they bring to our lives, it can't be overstated. You couldn't even run your own family. Oh, because a family's just like a fucking government, I guess. Don't tell me how to run my free speech. Is there any background to this?
Yeah, so again, like, the whole problem that started this beef was this tweet down there. It's kind of hard to see. But was this whole tweet down there where Laura Loomer was being way too overtly racist by saying that if Kamala Harris wins the White House will smell like curry, and White House speeches will be facilitated via a call center, and American people just like straight up like racism, and Marjorie Taylor Greene responds with like, "Hey, this is extremely racist. It does not represent who we are as Republicans or MAGA," which like, okay, and of course that's what kicked off this whole thing. You love to see it, folks. You love to see it. The fash on fash violence.
What did Marjorie Taylor Greene say to Laura Loomer that would get her to say, "Oh my God, don't tell me how to do my free speech"? I feel like that doesn't even make sense. Don't tell me how to run my free speech. What she has to, she's probably just saying like, "Don't tell me what to say or what not to say." But
Right, yeah, that's exactly what's happening. It does though. Oh yeah, no, I like Marjorie now. I'm
Since
on
she-
her side, okay? I'm on Marjorie's side for now. For calling out Laura Loomer's overt racism.
She is a right winger with online, like terminal online brain rot. She has to frame it in free speech, where it's like, if you're getting into an argument with somebody and they're like, "Shut up," you're like, "Don't violate my free speech." Like that's probably like the way that they think. They think in tweets. But anyways, so Marjorie, I guess, responds. I'm not sure what the order this is in, but this is appalling and extremely racist. Okay, let me read this first. So this is from Laura Loomer. Okay. So Laura Loomer tweeted, "If Kamala Harris wins, the White House will smell like curry, and White House speeches will be facilitated via a call center, and the American people will only be able to convey their feedback through a customer satisfaction survey at the end of the call." Okay, yeah, that is extremely racist.
Yeah, like that's extremely freaking racist. So, yeah, it's too racist. So even someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene was like, "Hey, you're saying the quiet part way too out loud, okay? It's making us look bad."
Okay, I did a double take. Marjorie Greene
Is
is
correct.
calling out Laura Loomer's racism?
Yes.
What?
Yes. I know we're living in a weird, bizarre timeline in this little exchange right here, okay? But it's happening.
There's some kind of fuckery with the multiverse going on? Is this the same Marjorie Greene that we had?
Just to be clear, like, just to be clear, like this sounds like something that is coming out of a position of like, "Hey, you're saying like the quiet part way too out loud, and it's like way too obvious, and it's making us look bad because you, Laura Loomer, are a representative or operative of the MAGA movement, right?" Like that's what's going on here. That's why she's upset. Cause like this is the person who like gets introduced, like Marjorie Taylor, we're talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is the person that like literally spread an anti-Semitic kind of conspiracy theory. This is the same person who gets like has been introduced in speeches by a neo-Nazi, has been connected to Nick Fuentes in several occasions. Like, yeah, so like I don't think this is coming from like a genuine concern for racism. It's more like, "Hey, you're making us look bad." That's what's happening here. I was not expecting Loomer to have as many Twitter followers as MTG. Unfortunately, Laura Loomer does have a following. I imagine it's going to be very similar because the people that follow Marjorie Taylor Greene are going to be in that same MAGA sphere, so it kind of tracks.
A couple of months ago, the Marjorie Greene who claimed that wearing masks on the floor of the House was akin to the Holocaust. Is this the same person, or did we get a little switcheroo? Or maybe there's a Freaky Friday situation going on. But Marjorie Greene is calling out Laura Loomer's racism towards Kamala, a Democrat. Yeah, I'm trying to wrap my head around this. My brain's about to explode, but let's keep going.
Like I said, I don't know, man. There's not much to think about here other than like she's just trying to CYA, you know? Like, this is not happening out of, like, introspection coming out of Marjorie Taylor Greene and saying, hey, wow, like, this is genuinely racist. Like, that's bad. It's coming from a place like, hey, this is too overt. Quiet it down, okay? You're making us all look bad.
This is appalling and extremely racist. It does not represent who we are as Republicans or MAGA. This does not represent President Trump. This type of behavior should not be tolerated ever. Laura Loomer, you should take this down. Damn. But yeah, Laura Loomer was in the plane. I don't know what instigated this. Man, I wish that we had a little bit more context, because did this happen after there were reports that Laura Loomer was on the plane with Trump, or got off the plane with Trump as he arrived in Pennsylvania for the debate, and she was jealous, like, hey, let me delegitimize this person so Trump isn't with her? Is it jealousy? Does she just, like, genuinely care that Trump is associating with someone who's crazy? I mean, it's Donald Trump. He had dinner with Nick Fuentes, white supremacist. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of this, but I guess there's more. Okay. Who's this guy in the corner? Exclusive.
Oh, it's the... Hey, isn't that... Oh, man. I'm blanking out. The emotes. Hey, Michael Hassler, you just posted this guy's emote, right? This is the same one.
Embattled QAnon Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene's openly cheated on her husband of 25 years with a polyamorous tantric sex guru, and then moved on to another affair with the manager at her gym. This is the person, I guess. Does he not look exactly like a Street Fighter character? What's his name? I can't remember the name of the character. I'm blanking, but it's giving Street Fighter. Okay. Once again, Marjorie Greene, who is extremely jealous and vindictive over the fact that she wasn't successful in turning Donald Trump against me. Okay, so that's what this is about.
Yeah, it's the same guy. Okay, so that's what that's... Oh, man. James from the internet, of course. That's what that's referencing. Zangrief, got it. Oh, man. That's too funny. That's where this is all coming. Okay, it's all coming together now.
At least according to Laura Loomer, who, like, I don't want to take sides here because I just want to say let them fight. They're both evil.
Yeah.
But if I had to take a side, gun to my head, I would think that Marjorie Greene is probably more sane than Laura Loomer.
Yeah, like in this particular exchange, like it, just to be clear, like objectively, like yeah, this is incredibly racist. Like point blank. Hey, Frog, welcome. How moderate of her. Yeah, indeed. I want her for speaker now. Speaker Green.
And I get that the bar is like, it's in hell, but Marjorie Greene is probably more mature and reasonable.
In this exchange, just to be clear, we're talking about like degrees here, okay? We're talking about degrees here.
Than Laura Loomer. And that is the only context that I will ever say Marjorie is sane and reasonable, comparatively speaking, to be very fucking clear. Don't take me out of context. Oh, that's the Zangief. Okay, thank you. That's the Zangief reference from earlier. Okay. Oh, so he's literally a cosplayer. So when I was saying it's giving Street Fighter, like he was actually going for that. Okay, that makes sense then. I've not played Street Fighter since Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo, and I don't remember a lot.
She's less racist than Mike Johnson. Whew, man. And that's saying a lot, or that's saying something, because, like, given, like, what the Republican Party is, man, like, we're talking degrees here.
I remember Blanca and Chun-Li, and I remember my dad would spam the kick attack, and I would lose every time, because it'd be very difficult to dodge that. That's all I remember. I haven't played it since. No, that's not true. I have. This is such a tangent. I'm like Trump with fucking crowd sizes. Let me continue, okay?
Kamikaze, welcome.
She wasn't successful in turning Donald Trump against me and is now behaving like a leftist. Oh no, and accusing me of being racist. Kamala
I
Harris.
mean,
See,
yeah, she was though. Like that's just the thing that you can't like. Johnson is openly bigoted against gay people. Even like this was, like this were 20 years ago. A lot of the Republican Party is openly bigoted against gay people.
you never want to be accused of being.
That's why I'm like we're talking like that's what I'm saying. We're talking like degrees here. You know what I'm saying? Like on the racism scale, like if you want to compare like Marjorie Taylor Greene versus like a Mike Johnson, like a Mike Johnson would be like a 9 or 10, and then like Marjorie Taylor Greene would be like a 7 or 8. Most of them are focused on trans people because they lost the gay marriage debate. Yeah, that's a fair point. I agree.
Leftist. Don't act like a leftist because that's a cardinal sin for a mega chud like Laura Loomer. Kamala Harris is on video calling herself Indian and saying she cooks with curry.
Yeah, but that's not the point. Like, come on, Laura. Come on, Laura Loomer. You know that's not the point. You know that wasn't the point of the post. Come on.
What the fuck is the point though? So she said the White House is going to smell like curry. Do you think that she's going to cook curry in the Oval Office? You're being racist.
Yeah, like that's like she can try to like pretzel herself all she wants, but like come on. Okay? Come on.
Now you're trying to be like, ooh, no, I wasn't trying to be racist. You know, she cooks curry. Laura, shut the fuck up. You know exactly what you're doing, you disingenuous motherfucker. Oh my god. Oh my god. She's trying to run away from it. She also refuses to speak to the media.
And like why? Yeah, she might as well have gone for a watermelon reference. Yeah, like indistinguishable in terms of like concept, right? It's the same analogy. The point being is just racism, and like the fact that she's trying to like squirm her way out of it is like more indicative to me of like the intention, right? Like, come on, really?
There's a strong likelihood that she would set up a call center to. She's actually trying to, I'm not actually being racist. I can't with these people. You are openly racist. Why are you running away from it? Just own it. Say it with your full chest, Laura.
Yeah, it's not like you'll get banned on X anyways. It's not like she's going to get banned by Elon anyways, right?
Wow. She's actually trying to be like, no, actually, I mean literally that she's going to set up a call center. Laura, this is clown shit. This is why in a disagreement with you and Marjorie, she comes out on top. Marjorie Greene comes out on top because you can't be serious even for 5 seconds to win a debate. She also refuses to speak to the media, so there will be a strong likelihood that she will set up a call center to avoid speaking to the press and being honest with the American people. Okay, sure. Hey, MTG, speaking of racism, one of your former staffers told me you have a favorite word that starts with N.
Oh, no. The right-wing xenophobia and racism is overreaching again, just like with Charlottesville. It's going to bite them in the arse. They're going to have to relearn how to dog whistle. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that, like, the problem is that they have no incentive to do that right now because, like, no one's stopping them, right? Like, an example as I just gave was, like, Twitter. Like, no one's, like, they can just be openly racist. They're not going to get banned. Someone of their ilk is literally at the top of the ticket running for one of the most powerful positions. So, like, they feel like they don't have to as much. So yeah, maybe if they get like completely blown out of the water politically, they may have to resort to that. Yeah, and I also agree. Like the Democratic Party has been not as efficient in fighting back. But yeah, I mean, like if they do end up getting blown out of the water, then yeah, they're gonna have to crawl back and relearn dog whistling.
What if the staffer has a video You can't see this. It's cut off by the screen. Let me pull it up a little bit. Okay. Is this true? Let me zoom back in. It's rather ironic that MTG wants to call me a racist when MTG is a full-blown anti-Semite who believes that Jewish people use space lasers to control the world.
Yeah, so let me just stop that right there. I mean, like he might make a mention of it. But like that's really freaking rich, right? Like both of you. Because like that's unironically true. A thing like, and it's funny because like now that she's in this, you know, Twitter scuffle with Marjorie Taylor Greene, now it's a problem that she did this anti-Semitism. It wasn't a problem when she did it initially, right? Because she never called her out on it. But now it's a problem. What's that meme? I think it's this one here.
Point to Laura Loomer, that's true.
Turn first-time
Damn,
customers
what's this
into
Who's Keeping
regulars
Score?
What is this?
with a safe way to pay.
Stop it. Okay.
It means
Language codes?
little human being.
Ugh, his smile is very creepy. Okay.
Smiling is creepy.
No, your smile specifically.
Got it.
But
Thank you.
let's go back.
Jesus. I didn't even mean to click on that video, but holy crap, that 5 seconds. Whew.
What the fuck is happening? Along with being an anti-Semite, MTG is also a poor excuse for a Christian. Oh, that's too far. Don't you dare criticize her for being an imperfect Christian, okay? God forgives. That's why he died on the cross, okay? So Laura Loomer is really exposing herself here. She's a poor excuse for a Christian. Her marriage failed because she couldn't keep her legs closed. Oh, Jesus Christ. Slut-shaming now.
Whew. Man. Thank you for the follow, fact-based comrade. Welcome.
While she was a new member of Congress and was too busy screwing some guy from her CrossFit. Damn, so she's going for the jugular. She is not representative of the GOP or what it means to be America first. Oh, let me go up. Sorry, it's a really giant picture, so I'm trying to give you the whole image. Nobody talks about her anymore because she's annoying and irrelevant and a sellout. Hey, MTG, how come you... She keeps saying, hey, MTG. Okay, tweets are too long now. I don't like that you can pay for Twitter and then have, like, unlimited characters. This is just so difficult to keep up with. It's so long. Hey, MTG, how come you weren't at the debate? Guess you gave up on Trump when he gave up on your boyfriend, Speaker McCarthy. Okay, let me move it over.
Loomer trying to channel Lamar.
Don't talk about representing Donald Trump when you paid for the Yay 2024 domain and used your campaign funds to orchestrate the dinner between Nick Fuentes and Kanye West. Is this tea? Did we not know about this beforehand? Because I thought that by then Marjorie Greene was already feigning ignorance after she spoke at AFPAC. I could be fucking up the timeline.
Brevity is the soul of wit.
But at the same time, take all of this with a grain of salt because I don't feel like Laura Loomer is the most reliable source. Obviously, neither of them are reliable sources, but if I had to say one of them is probably more reliable than the other, I unfortunately have to say Marjorie Greene. And like I would never say that in any other context, but because we're talking about Marjorie Greene versus Laura Loomer, then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I actually believe Marjorie more. Man, I just said that shit. What the fuck? I exposed you months ago and I exposed you months ago and I'll do it again.
I love Twitter but hate Elon. Yeah, like Elon completely destroyed Twitter. Twitter is a nice concept, actually. Oh, by the way, I found out how to, oh, we gotta talk about this too. I found the fix once I restarted it. Look at that. The Shinigami eyes work perfectly. Look at that.
Trailer trash Harpy. Wow. 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 Okay. Is there more?
Woo!
I need more. More. This feels kind of demented, but I do want to see more. Let me check Marjorie Taylor Greene's timeline. She has a picture of her, Tucker Carlson, who just platformed a Nazi, and Donald Trump looking real sweaty and wet. Gross. Okay. Any updates?
I struggle every day about it. Should I leave? Should I stay? I mean, like, it's really like you can make Twitter a a better experience by curating it. Because like I've had to block a lot of freaking accounts. And this kind of helps too. It's not perfect, but like that's as good as I'm gonna get as far as the Twitter experience. I checked out other platforms, but it's not the same. Yeah, that's the problem though. Like it's not the same. It's not the same. Like Threads is nice, but it's not the same. I actually like Blue Sky, but it's not the same.
Oh, okay. So I don't know if she responded directly to Laura Loomer. Oh, okay. But she did do a follow-up that we did not see. A little bit of a history lesson for a few of you. Laura and I used to be friends going back to 2018. I used to defend her and support her, like in this post here. Jack, you may have banned Laura Loomer, but you can't silence her voice. We are all Laura Loomer.
Did you know you can share and import your block list with Twitter? Might be an idea. Huh. I only use an app unless I can block. Yeah, like I know there's like mass blocking bots and stuff like that, but I always forget I have a Blue Sky account. Honestly, same. I didn't like Threads. Threads is okay. It's just not Twitter. Like all I want is to be able to like post a small, concise content, and that's it. Oh, when you view your block list in Twitter, there's a share option. Huh.
So stop the bias. This is you just posting your L, Marjorie. Why would you post this? Don't. Your point taken away from Marjorie. Okay. Where are we at? Okay. I endorsed her first run for... Oh, I forgot that Laura Loomer ran for Congress. Oh my God. This is bringing back so many fucking memories. God. My brain is rotten to the core to be enjoying this. I have to acknowledge this is truly a new low for me. The fact that I'm reading this and it's like fucking, I don't know, TMZ for me. God, what's wrong? What is wrong with me? I need to stop following politics. I endorsed her first run for Congress, donated to her, and fundraised for her, and then she lost. That's great. Don't admit this shit, Marjorie. You're just delegitimizing yourself further. You have the upper hand here, god damn it. Yeah, this as Tara says, this is reality TV. This is political reality TV. Like, this is the best Twitter slop. Then, when she ran against Daniel Webster, I told her to run in another district so she could win, but she refused. When I didn't endorse her, she turned on me and began attacking me and lying about me. I mean, that's what you all do to each other, so are you really that surprised? Don't vote for the leopards eating people's faces party and expect the leopards to not eat your face. That's just on you. I still advocated for her to get her former Twitter account back Twitter back, now X account. Okay, well, thank you for clarifying, because if you said Twitter, I would have no idea that you were talking about X. Laura has lied so much about me and others like Matt Gaetz, even though we are President Trump's most loyal and fierce elected members of Congress. She breaks a few good stories here and there, but there are many others she embellishes or flat out lies. However, her attacks have no bearing on me, nor am I concerned with what she says. As a matter of fact, outside of a bubble on this platform, most regular people don't know who she is. That is quite literally the most true thing that Marjorie Taylor Greene has ever said. And I hate to give her credit for that, but it's true. Let's let her cook. But when it comes to posts that are flat out racist, hateful, and make President Trump look bad, she needs to be responsible and delete them. I mean, yeah, I agree, but not the best messenger. I do want to say, though, because Marjorie Greene, you know, it does feel a little bit hypocritical. Let's look, just out of curiosity, let's look at the replies to her scolding Laura Loomer for being racist. I agree that Laura Loomer was being racist, but what do her followers say? Because you curated this audience of very racist right-wingers, and they've come to expect racism from you. So this is kind of like a 180. It'd be like if I all of a sudden was like, you know what? I don't support Medicare for all anymore. I support private insurance. All of my followers would be like, what the fuck happened? Like, were you bought off?
Yeah, exactly. Mike is having way too much fun. Yeah, like the purpose of this is indeed to have some fun, okay? It's Thursday. It's basically Friday, okay? Friday for me anyways. You see the AZ with the Save the Cats Vote Republican billboard? Yeah. Yeah. I think he posted something about it in the Discord. It's absurd. These people are unbelievably unhinged. Yep. Last time I looked at my Blue Sky, I had a beaded design on there.
So it's a 180 for sure, but like how is this being received? Oh god, that's haunting. We're gonna see all the libs first. Let's go to her core audience.
Where is my
Okay. Oh, so she responded directly to it. Okay.
Where's my block list?
Okay. There's so much libs. Hey, Laura Loomer, what changed?
But I'm going to tell you about one right now, and her name is Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer, who is my friend, and I will proudly defend her, is a...
Okay, I think that maybe this reply in the reply section to Marjorie Greene is what prompted that follow-up. But I want to see what the Republicans think. Oh, this person's like, really? Racism is all you have? Yeah, she tweeted this shit like 2 days ago. Marjorie. Yeah, Marjorie. You just tweeted racism a couple of days ago. Haitian immigrants chasing a cat? It's not even fucking true. And now you're scolding. None of this makes sense to me. None of this makes sense to me. Okay, here we go. Back the fuck up. You haven't done shit for this country except run your fat mouth online in congressional hearings. Not one person has ever been brought to justice. At least Laura, who is a private citizen, by the way, is actually exposing criminals and frauds. This one is like...
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, we're talking about, like, degrees, okay? We're talking about, like, degrees. Thanks for reading that out loud. I'm not... Okay, look. Call me naive, but, I'm not sure what that is. Discord. I keep forgetting to make an account. Yeah, join the Discord. There you go. Must be a personal thing where Marjorie is mad that Loomer is closer to Trump. Maybe that's what this is. Because, like, again, we're talking about, like, degrees, okay? We're talking about degrees. This isn't coming from a place of, like, Marjorie wanting to be, like, a good person, okay? this isn't coming from a place where Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to be a good person. Hey, that's not cool. You know, you should really not be that racist. That's not okay. No, she's not. I don't think she's coming from that angle.
Hey guys, can we stop fighting? If real Donald Trump supporters cannot focus on being elected, we are all fucked. They won't swear though, but they'll vote for a racist like Donald Trump who wants to kill democracy. Stop this. You're feeding the enemy. Trump 2024. I really want him to win. Okay, Annie. Fuck. I feel like you didn't need to weigh in here. Who gets to decide what people get to say? You? Oh, so there we go. There we go. This one. I would guess that they're a Trump supporter. They're a right-winger who, Marjorie Taylor Greene hoped would follow her. Now they're like, hey, why are you saying racism is bad? You told us racism was good. We're following you for the racism. There's so many liberals mixed in. STFU, Jezebel. Okay, Jezebel is something that a Christian would say.
Yeah.
It's a right winger. What happened, Marge?
Yeah, like Jezebel is like
burning. So okay.
Jezebel is just like Jezebel is just like a dog whistle. Jezebel is just a dog whistle for calling Marjorie Taylor Greene a whore. Okay, like that's or a slut. That's what they. It's like it's hilarious because like they won't actually say the word slut. They'll just use Jezebel because I don't know in their warped Christian reality that they've made for themselves. That word, they can get away without saying slut by calling her a Jezebel.
Okay, it's hard to tell, but it really seems like her followers are like. They're shocked
Bible shaming.
Because all of a sudden Marjorie is saying racism is bad. I do want to check Laura Loomer's timeline and see what she's saying, if there's any updates.
Exactly. Jezebel is in vulgarity. It's in the Bible. Exactly.
Laura Loomer Unleashed.
Bathsheba!
Should be unhinged. Of course, it's on Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Look, even her dog is like, ugh, I don't want to be in a fucking picture with you. Evil. Okay. Is she saying anything else? Let me see some replies too. To the many reporters who are calling me and obsessively asking me to talk to them today, the answer is no. I'm so popular. Everybody wants to hear from me. Oh, she's loving this. And Marjorie Greene is fighting with her publicly. She's living her best life right now. Why is the media so afraid of me? Because you're a psychopath. And you're in the ear of somebody who wants to be president and who could win. That's why they're afraid of you. We're all afraid of you, okay? Okay, is there anything new here? She has lied about everything. J6 prisoners are... Oh, see, Marjorie doesn't support the J6 prisoners.
Wow. I prefer more like Ignoramus. Oof, the tea that has been spilled here is just amazing.
Why is she at she's snitch tagging Jake Tapper so he reports on Marjorie Greene? Is that what's happening? Jake Tapper and MTG both oh I see, okay. I didn't read the whole thing. I was a little bit confused why she tagged Jake Tapper. Jake Tapper and MTG both attacked me for this tweet today. I've noticed the pattern of MTG colluding with the left media to because you know that Jake Tapper and Marjorie Greene are in fucking cahoots. I bet they're texting like, you know what? Let's get this motherfucker. Let's pull a tweet at her. A tweet about this. This is unacceptable. She has to be stopped. I hope anyone is successful in removing MTG from office. We can agree on that, okay? Wow. Did she tweet the same thing over and over again? What? I don't know what's going on. My correspondents and I are asking the hard questions that need to be asked of Senate candidates. Okay, this is unrelated. Okay, that seems like, at least for now, that's the end of the controversy. Really unhinged stuff. So this is from an hour ago. So this is kind of breaking news, and this is very important.
I could see Green texting Tapper and Tapper ignoring it. To me, anyone who trends on X is a short list of who not to listen to. Well, it depends, but yeah, I think that's a pretty good. Rule of thumb, I should say. Who do you support by chance, and what are your pronouns? I'm just plain old cis, man. I'm just plain old cis. And who do I support? I support myself, okay? I support myself.
Yeah, I tweeted an hour ago. So wow. Yeah. Let them fight.
Yep.
That the Harris campaign has seen in terms of their polling. One of the things that the Harris campaign has seen.
Hey, Footlong, how's it going?
In terms of their polling, is people more often than not, almost every election is like this, they want change. And so the challenge for Harris is how to seem like the change candidate when she's obviously been in the administration for 4 years. Donald Trump has a similar challenge because we've seen him before, but people forget after 4 years.
That's why his favorables are up than when he left office.
Is this the first moment, her opening statement, this number 7? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so... or I should say, it's not even an opening statement. They didn't give them an opening statement. They start off with questions. And she clearly wanted an opening statement. But the point is, they ask, how are you better off now? Because it's the classic thing that you ask of an incumbent. She does not want to be seen as the incumbent.
Yep.
This was a challenge that she had throughout the debate. And frankly...
Good. Every day I have Eastern-style food is a good day. Nice. I support purveyors of healthy cuisine, and my pronouns are whatever I decide to respond to once I hear the voice.
Nailed it every time. Like, it was always about looking forward, not looking back in terms of like the administration.
And at points, because Trump kept talking about Biden, and we'll get to that, I'm sure, but she said, I am not Joe Biden, and then would pivot and define herself as being forward looking. And she'd also sometimes go back and talk about Trump and COVID and some of the more chaotic things that he sowed. So that, like, the coaching on that front was extremely effective, and she delivered on and executed the game plan.
Yeah, apparently Tim Poolfan says the slogan from Veep when she ran for re-election as president was continuity with change.
It's really
incredible. And that is just sort of like, that's what...
Housing. And the cost of housing is too expensive for far too many people. We know that young families need support to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a long time, so that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children. My passion, one of them, is small businesses. My mother raised my sister and me, but there was a woman who helped raise us. We call her our second mother. She was a small business owner. I love our small businesses. My plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to startup small businesses, knowing they are part of the backbone of America's economy. My opponent, on the other hand, his plan is to do what he has done before, which is to provide a tax cut for billionaires and big corporations, which will result in $5 trillion.
6,000 won't do. It's a good thought, though. Sounds like Republican light. Is it better that 4 years ago we had a president not making things worse than 4 years ago economically? What about a tax credit for those of us without kids? That's a good point.
$1 billion to America's deficit. My opponent has a plan that I call the Trump's sales tax, which
or
would
like
be
maybe, which, you know, it's not to say that like everybody doesn't deserve a tax break. But the reason why people are okay with that is because they're hurting financially. maybe the correct answer would be, hey, you know, we've got like an incredibly wealthy capitalist class, oligarch class that has a absurd, like, to the most objective form of the word, an absurd amount of wealth. Like, why don't we tax those motherfuckers? Does that make sense? Like, instead of like trying to like finagle, like, oh, we should cut taxes here for the middle class and we should do this. Like, okay, that's great. Good concept. But like, why don't we just tax the ever living crap out of these uber wealthy people that have like more wealth than like all our lifetimes put together, quite literally, and just kind of use that to alleviate the pressure of the working class. I don't disagree, Cognizant. Going hard on the antitrust front is fine by me. Everyone should get a tax break, other than people have gotten tax breaks for the last 70 years. But if we take money from the rich, they won't want to try to be rich anymore. Kamal ain't paid to do that, so here we are. And before you think ADT's idea is communism, taxing the rich is something U.S. has done before. Guess what? It worked. Oh yeah, 100%. Like, it turns out like taxes aren't communism. I know. It's a hard concept for the right to understand, but it's true.
20%.
Yeah, and here we are.
Tax on everyday goods that you rely on to get through the month. Economists have said that Trump sales tax would actually result for middle-class families in about $4,000 more a year because of his policies and his ideas about what should be the backs of middle-class people paying for tax cuts for billionaires.
President Trump, I'll give you 2 minutes.
All right. And now, so she doesn't answer the question.
No.
Now, I think she could have, frankly, because she could have started off by saying 4 years ago, we came in and unemployment was at record levels.
Yep.
And our supply chain was completely screwed up and it would create inflation. And we were threatened with poverty and whatnot. And we came in, we started to do X, Y, and Z. Inflation is down. Those numbers there was probably access to them last night. I don't know if that's possible, maybe not, but certainly inflation is going down. The census information that was released today, wages, incomes are up, and she can say we cut poverty, and unfortunately, because of the Republican Party, we weren't able to maintain that. But we're headed in the right direction. And then she could have gone forward there. But she was like scrupulous from the beginning. Don't look back on and don't associate herself on some levels with the Biden administration.
Well, you could see that was her most shaky moment, honestly, because her voice quivered a little, right? I mean,
so I think she was nervous.
I would be. I don't know about you. I'd be pretty damn nervous. Like I will get the rating soon, but I would imagine this is one of the most watched debates in history. Yeah, I mean. Again, I don't love the phrasing about the focusing on the middle class stuff, but you know, it polls well in terms of people want to perceive themselves as middle class, even if they aren't. It's not the phrasing that I would use. Opportunity economy
is one of the sort of like most noxious things I could imagine.
And she didn't emphasize the stuff that is in her platform that's more progressive that we like the price gouging stuff. I was waiting for her to zero in on that, but as we said repeatedly last night, this is not for us. This is to assure people who are squishy about a woman, who are squishy about her being perceived as too liberal. This is about getting those people to vote for her. They're going for the moderate Republicans even. But I do think that there are people like that who would be willing to vote for Harris. And so it's not my favorite in terms of the expectation or for progressive policy in terms of how it was emphasized.
I like the beginning with JFT's JFT's idea of a 100% marginal tax rate on any residence other than your primary residence. It'll very quickly normalize the housing prices. Not opposed to that. Not opposed to that at all.
You see what the strategy is here, and I can respect that in and of itself.
Just from CNN, just a couple of statistics. Debate watchers said 63 to 37% that Harris turned in a better performance. Now, understand these group of watchers started off 50% saying Harris would do better, 50% saying that Trump would do better. So they had the exact same expectations, but clearly the people who thought Trump would do better changed their mind. Here's the other thing. Among voters who watch the debate and identify as political independents, Harris' favorability rose to 48% after the debate, up from just 30% before.
Yeah.
Now, like I say, I get nauseous when I hear the opportunity economy, because that is sort of that's Obama talk. That's
David Plouffe is
Clinton talk.
Yeah.
And I am excited that Harris won the debate, both I think in style and substance, and in terms of what the media said, and that it's going to help her get reelected. But we can do two things at the same time and be aware that there are going to be big, big challenges. We'll talk more about that later, but big challenges as progressives, I think, with this administration, because there are other ways to have fashioned to do what she did last night. And the way in which she did it, effective, but like I say, there are other effective ways to do this.
I wish there was anything about the minimum wage, just anything at all. That's the kind of thing that should, that should have been fleshed out. And honestly, the moderator should have been asking those questions. But the minimum wage hasn't been at the forefront of any of this.
Well, she could also have referred to it as the caring economy. Opportunity economy is very oriented towards, it's really, but
bougie.
Again, effective for what she wanted to do, and let's we will have time to sort of critique this and begin to talk about hopefully
it was higher under Eisenhower, but that's not. Yeah, I'm looking at this stuff here. Just a quick tangent. In World War I, it jumped from 67% to 77%. From 25 to 63% on the top earners. 94%. In the 1980s, it was from 70 to 50%. Dropped to 28%. Now it went to 39 in the 90s to 2012. Wow. Yeah, pretty sure we're all going to be billionaires one day. Yeah, it'll happen. More like even in the devil, moderate Republicans, more like even the devil line that is known as far right, Dick Cheney, but there are somehow people further in the pits of hell.
It will be in a position to be on guard about this stuff, and to the extent that we can push back on it.
But to your point, just briefly, when she opens with "I was a middle class kid," that was because she expected there to be an opening statement, and she was struggling for a second to pivot because she moved to her economic talking points when she thought that she was going to be able to define herself. Because part of what the polling shows is that people don't know her well enough,
Yep.
right? So she didn't get a ton of opportunities to.
Right. Correct. And remember, the tax brackets are progressive. You aren't taxed 78% on all $1 billion. Correct. That's a tax rate after you've reached the top 1% earner levels. Correct.
To do that, which I'm sure she's a bit frustrated by. But after that answer, once Trump started melting down and she successfully triggered him, her confidence grew with every question.
Yeah.
And it got better and better. But he got triggered so early that, like, people say it's in the first 20 minutes of the debate is when you win it. She won it in the first 20 minutes because he fell apart really quickly.
The point you just made about her wanting to communicate who she is. I mean, to all of us, it's like, what? People don't know who Kamala Harris is in terms of like, the polling shows that there was, something like 50% of undecideds felt like they didn't know enough about her. ABC certainly is aware of that. And I wonder if in their minds they're like, well, we're going to inhibit her opportunity to sort of like flat out, giving an opening statement is sort of
standard,
pretty standard. And the idea that they came right in quick. Now, I think it was effective as a journalistic tool because it certainly caught them off guard. And I think, it showed, though, that she could make that pivot fairly well. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show.
Kamala is currently broadcasting a North Carolina rally. Yes, she's in North Carolina. I got one more, folks, I think.
Why it's so expensive to stay at a hotel right now?
The rooms start at like $1,000, $1,500. Some of these hotel rooms, suites, go up to like $12,000 a night.
What if I told you the rates that many hotels are charging are artificially inflated? That's the implication of multiple federal lawsuits accusing hotels of using algorithms to fix prices in tandem, draining your wallet and maximizing profits across the industry. So how does it all work? In the age of big tech, there's no need to gather in smoke-filled rooms to rig rates. In fact, there's no need to communicate at all. Let's take a look at what happened in Atlantic City. A lawsuit filed last year accused hotels, including Caesars, Tropicana, Hard Rock, and others, of an ongoing conspiracy to fix, raise, and stabilize prices. In the past,
capitalism.
Hotels that had higher prices were undercut by competitors offering similar rooms at lower rates. But all of that changed in 2018 when hotels started handing over their internal data to Cendyn, a private equity-owned software company.
Over recent decades, Cendyn has evolved into a global leader for digital transformation in the hospitality industry.
The software, which uses algorithms to suggest, quote, optimal prices for rooms, is designed to, that's a 65% increase in just 5 years.
It's just wild. Wild. Monopoly without mergers. Right. Correct. It's like the same nonsense that the airline industry does, more or less. It's just now more efficient and driven with software.
At the same time, occupancy rates fell from 87% to 73%. You might think lower occupancy would mean less money for the hotels, but because these hotels simultaneously raised prices, they were able to increase overall revenue. Sure, a few potential customers were priced out, but anyone who wanted to stay was effectively forced to pay the higher price because there were no alternatives. All in all, revenue for the hotel industry in Atlantic City rose 40% between 2017 and 2022. If you're thinking that all of this sounds very familiar, that's because it's happened before, only with rental properties. Earlier this year, the Department of Justice opened a criminal probe into a company called RealPage.
The Attorney Generals of Arizona and DC are suing RealPage and a host of big landlords, alleging that an algorithmic housing cartel is helping drive up prices.
And what's more,
right, and we also went over this same video. Cendyn offers a service that strikes at the core of antitrust.
Or both Cendyn and RealPage can be traced back to the same company, Rainmaker.
Of
Rainmaker
course.
sold its real estate software to RealPage in 2017 and its hotel
Amazing.
and casino software to Sendin in 2019 for an undisclosed sum. Allegations of hotels conspiring to inflate room rates with secret algorithms extend far beyond Atlantic City. A separate lawsuit alleges that luxury hotel chains in 15 major cities across the US are using a similar technology called Smith Travel Research, or STR. The complaint involves hotel giants like Hilton, Hyatt, Intercontinental, and Marriott. They've been accused of sharing detailed information about prices, supply, and their future plans through STR. This data is then used to inform hotels on whether their prices are high enough to receive their, quote, fair share of revenue. According to an internal whistleblower, STR is used by almost every luxury hotel in the country. One witness even says it's, quote, like oxygen or water for the hotel industry. Now you might be thinking, how could this possibly be legal? Well, in the Atlantic City lawsuit, the hotels maintain that since they're not communicating directly with each other, they're not violating antitrust laws.
Yeah, whatever.
They're also saying that the prices recommended by Sendin aren't binding. The luxury hotels using STR are making a similar argument. They say STR is simply providing, quote, benchmarks for pricing. But the U.S. Department of Justice disagrees.
I mean, like, you can try to, like, you know, word it however you want and perform Olympic levels of mental gymnastics, but it is blatantly monopolistic behavior. I can't even think about moving because of these services.
That according to the Sherman Antitrust Act, even if hotels never talk directly, using a common system to set prices could still violate antitrust laws. They also say it doesn't matter if prices recommended by software aren't binding. Conspiring to fix the starting point of pricing is unlawful, regardless of what price ends up being charged. The collusion in the hotel industry reveals the truth behind exorbitant prices. This is not the invisible hand of the market. It's good old-fashioned price fixing. As algorithms continue to shape our markets, it's going to be more important than ever for government regulators to intervene.
It's still collusion and likely conspiracy.
And call out these corporate grifters for their illegal schemes.
That's just absurd that, like, this is a thing that's just, like, out and brazenly being done. Is it brazen or is it within plain view and also demonstrating non-criminal behavior? And a good portion of Congress doesn't know how to even use the internet. Now we have to keep watch for congressional bills that will attempt to legalize that behavior. Yep. So we have to go over this clip here. Conservatives are never going to beat the weird allegations. This one, I'm going to put a content warning on this one because this one's just particularly egregious. If you haven't seen this video. And I'm not being facetious. Like, it is genuinely freaking disturbing. It is genuinely disturbing. So I will just put another content warning. I will let Dave Rubin take it away, honestly. Yeah, but it's specifically what he's talking about. That's the issue. Like, I'm not being facetious at all. Like, I'm not just memeing memeing on Dave Rubin. Like the stuff that he's about to talk about is pretty freaking gross. This is in regards to the tweet that Elon Musk made about Taylor Swift. Welcome, Bipedal Meatbag. So yeah, it's pretty freaking gross. So yeah, you've been warned. Whew. Here we go.
And then let's talk a little bit about more how this fits into the pop culture part of this, because the pop culture is a huge driver of the cultural narrative. Well, here's the tweet from Colin Rugg about the Taylor Swift thing, and we'll get back to it in a second. So as we referenced before, Taylor Swift endorses Kamala Harris on Instagram after the debate on ABC, proudly calls herself a childless cat lady. Elon Musk, who they hate, he saw that, and he wrote this: "Fine, Taylor, you win. I will give you a child and guard your cats with my life." So he's mocking.
First of all, like, that is not a joke. Because, like, I'm sorry, what is the punchline here, right? Like, he tried to play it off as like a joke, but like, what was the punchline here exactly? It's just gross.
So he's mocking, he's exposing the ridiculousness, right? It's like, Taylor Swift, you are a young, pretty girl. Do you know?
Yeah, it's a threat for essay.
What the gang members from Venezuela do to young, pretty girls? It ain't pretty. So what do we have to do? We have to keep finding each other to whatever extent we can. We have to keep waking people up. It is life. So
here's a test. Let me make that comment to your daughter. Right. Like, I need to reiterate just how gross that freaking comment was. Like, oh yeah? You're endorsing Kamala Harris? Do you know what gang members from Venezuela do to young, pretty girls to you? Bro, what?
He's mocking, he's exposing the ridiculousness, right? It's like, Taylor Swift, you are a young, pretty girl. Do you know what the gang members from Venezuela do to young, pretty girls? It ain't pretty. So what do we have to do? We have to keep finding each other to whatever extent we can. We have to keep waking people up. It is the only chance we have.
That is so freaking wild and gross and disgusting. Fortunately, Taylor's not opposed to litigation. I hope so. Hide your children and furniture. Lance said from the Surfs. Lance from the Surfs said Elon's very much struggling with the divorce. Yeah, I see that. God, it's so creepy and disgusting and weird. Like, why would you say that? Like, the response to Taylor Swift endorsing Kamala Harris is like, oh yeah, by the way, like, do you know that she supports like open borders and like the invasion of brown people? Oh, and by the way, do you know what those brown people will do to pretty young girls like you? It ain't pretty. For the right-wingers to not recognize the undertone of that comment is amazing. You can bet your bottom dollar they would not tolerate that comment to one of their loved ones. Correct. But they don't, it's just hard to believe like that, like, these people don't know what they're saying, right? Although there can be a case for Dave Rubin, but like, still, man, that's just like so freaking disgusting. Like that like, that's the type of stuff that like makes your skin crawl, you know? Oh yeah, you endorse like the candidate that I don't like. Well, you know what? You know what they do to young girls like you? Bro. Ooh. Yikes. And last clip. Okay, this one's kind of funny. This one's no trigger warning. This one's just funny. To just move on from that skin crawling comment, but That's the right wing, folks.
Because those two moderators tried to sink Donald Trump tonight.
Do you know what conservatives throughout the centuries have done to gay men? Jesus, dude.
Checks.
Yep. What's it called? The faces, leopard eating face party? Taylor Swift isn't a young girl. She's 35 or 34.
On what he said and none on what she said. None. I don't remember a single fact check of anything she said, and she lied repeatedly. She just got away with it. In the moderator's eyes, that was Donald Trump's job to fact check her. That's correct. Except you didn't employ that same tactic.
We've got like about a minute and 20 something seconds, a minute and 23 seconds left. Are we going to get like examples as to what should have been fact checked? Probably not, right?
When it came to Trump, and you accused him of lying even when it was your opinion that he lied. When Trump tried to say that his comment that he lost 2020 by a whisker was him being sarcastic, David Muir actually injected saying, I didn't hear sarcasm. Who gives a shit what you heard?
Jesus. Harris lied with the bounds of political rhetoric. Trump did not. The moderators can fact check her. The racist dog dinner guy kept speaking after she finished. She's big mad. She's big mad.
Who died and left you political analyst in chief? You're supposed to be the objective news anchor of World News Tonight. That's a comment you make to your significant other, David. Not on the debates. It didn't sound like that to me. Shut up. That is inappropriate. It's not for you.
Yeah, just to be clear, like Donald Trump has contradicted himself so many times. It's not even funny. Like, he can't keep his story straight. It's like, he'll say, oh, yeah, I actually lost the election by a whisker, and then be like, oh, well, I was just being sarcastic. The election was actually rigged. You know, like, come on, man. Like, so I guess what we're supposed to take from this is that, yeah, Donald Trump does still believe that the election was rigged. Like, that's supposed to be a good thing? Like, that's supposed to be, like, the W here? That he didn't lie about that? Okay.
To make that call. Leave it up to Kamala Harris. Leave it up to people like me who will play the soundbite and let the audience decide. But you were out of line, and they did it to him over and over and over again. And
so mad. I think she was all bent out of shape just about Santa being white. He just is.
The worst piece of all of this is the obvious tactic by ABC News, which was as follows. Mr. Trump, you said something incredibly controversial and terrible. Let me remind you of what it was. Do you have any regrets or thoughts on how terrible you were?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty relevant, like, freaking line of questioning. Notice how she doesn't actually say what that was in reference to. Like a Fox moderator wouldn't attempt to flay Harris alive on stage. The corporate tax rate was 70% at one time. Now it's at 15%.
Trump answers. Vice President Harris, how bad is Trump? And then she'd answer. It happened over and over again.
I can't believe she can lick boots this hard for a man who said that about her doing the same thing. Yep. Like, yeah, just to be clear, like, Trump has thrown her under the bus, like, no problems. Isn't this the lady who was bleeding all over the place when she did her presidential debate? Don't bite the hands that feed. Friggin' amazing. That's her paycheck talking. Yeah, exactly. All right, folks, we got to run through some of these. Judge narrows election interference case against Trump in Georgia. We have an update on this case. We have been keeping up with every single update on this case, like as it happens. The judge overseeing the election interference case against Donald Trump and several co-defendants in Georgia has thrown out 3 counts in the indictment, including 2 counts brought against the former president. The original 41-count indictment accused Trump and several of his allies of a broad scheme to overturn the election results in Georgia, but the case has been stalled for months as an effort to disqualify the top prosecutor remains on appeal. Judge Scott McAfee upheld the challenge to the sweeping racketeering charge on Thursday, but wrote in his decision that certain counts involving allegations of filing false documents should no longer go forward because they belong in federal and not state court. Because counts 14, 15, and 27 lie beyond the state's jurisdiction and must be quashed, the defendant's motion to dismiss the indictment under the Supremacy Clause are granted in part. Trump's lawyer, Stephen Sadow, praised that decision. President Trump and his legal team in Georgia prevailed once again. The trial court has decided that on counts 15, 20, and 27 in the indictment must be quashed or dismissed. Not that they were like bad or anything, it's just that they're out of bounds of the state jurisdiction, but they still have to contend with the rest of the charges. The challenge to the counts were brought by 2 other defendants, John Eastman and Sean Still, but a lawyer for Trump confirmed that McAfee's decision would also apply to Trump. The case is currently on hold as Trump and other defendants appeal McAfee's decision not to disqualify Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. The Georgia Court of Appeals is set to hear these arguments in December. In March, the same judge dismissed 6 other counts in the indictment, including 3 against Trump because the indictment lacks sufficient detail. However, he said at the time that the state could attempt to refile those charges in the future. The bus, people under it who support Trump. That's true. He has thrown his own kids. I can live with 38 counts. Yeah, I'm good with that. 38 counts of BS, dude. Wow. Amazing. Well, if they were such BS, then I'm sure that he'll win in court, right? Like he won in New York. Oh, fuck off. Come on. You had such an opportunity to be funny right at the end of stream too. You had such an opportunity to be entertainment for us, and then you just did that. And then you just did that. Sad. Sad. And then you went full 10-year-old. Yep. Yeah, just about as childish as their username, Smelly Feet Leet. Jesus, this person is definitely 10 years old and is in their basement currently. Someone needs a hug. Oh man. And they had an opportunity to be at least mild entertainment for us here for a minute, but then yeah. Sad. They're not bringing their best, folks. They're not bringing their best. They're not bringing their best. Or maybe they are. I think they are. Republicans push for a clean stopgap as leaders regroup on shutdown plan. We got another update on the government shutdown. Speaker Mike Johnson scrapped plans for the House to vote on his conservative funding bill on Wednesday yesterday when it became clear it didn't have the GOP votes to pass, catapulting the conference back to square one with less than 1 month to shut down. Some Republicans are pushing Johnson to make another attempt at clearing a conservative funding bill, arguing that a successful effort could strengthen the party's hand in the forthcoming bipartisan negotiations. Muddying the waters, former President Trump is urging Republicans to vote against any short-term bill that does not secure absolute assurances on election security. Whatever. Yeah, replace him with Marjorie now. Privately, others are concluding that a bipartisan stopgap is inevitable, so it'd be in the best interest to get it over with sooner rather than later. Bring a clean, continuing resolution for 3 months and move on. So that's probably what's gonna end up being the plan here, because the way Congress is right now, it's a freaking mess. Johnson announced Wednesday that he was pulling a scheduled vote on his opening bid to avert a government shutdown, which paired a 6-month continuing resolution with a Trump-backed bill that would require proof of citizenship to vote, and amid mounting opposition within his conference. It was a dramatic reversal from his previous position. Just 24 hours earlier, the speaker was adamant that the House would weigh in on the package, even though enough Republican no votes had stacked up by then to sink it. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with this. Trey Crowder proved 10-year-olds can be politically astute. He let his kids watch debate, and their first political content watched firsthand, and they saw through Trump's BS with no difficulty. I think it was a figure of speech, but I think yeah, it is a bit insulting to children. Okay, I agree. Oh man. Let's end on a slightly happier note, shall we? North Dakota judge strikes down the state's abortion ban. A state judge has struck down the North Dakota ban on abortion, saying that the state constitution creates a fundamental right to access abortion before a fetus is viable. Yeah, my kid has more common sense than I do sometimes. A state judge struck down North Dakota's ban on abortion Thursday, today, that saying that the state constitution creates a fundamental right to access abortion before a fetus is viable. Folks, this is why it's so freaking important to pay attention, specifically to like the local or state ballot initiatives and ballot measures or amendments, depending on where you are. They may be called differently. But this is why it's so important, because like if you get this written in your state constitution, while there's no ability at this time for Congress to actually pass a national Roe v. Wade bill, these are the tools that are still available, and this is why it's so important. In his ruling, State District Judge Bruce Romanek also said that the law violates the state constitution because it's too vague. Under the judge's order, abortion would be legal in North Dakota, but the state currently has no clinics performing them, and GOP State Attorney General Drew Wigley promised to appeal that decision. The state's only abortion provider had been the Red River Women's Clinic in Fargo, but it moved a few miles to Moorhead, Minnesota in 2022. In 2022, after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade and allowed states to ban abortion. Director Tammy Kromenecker said that there are no plans to reopen a clinic in North Dakota, but Thursday's decision gives us hope. I honestly can't believe it. Yeah, me neither. Given that it's North Dakota, yeah, I feel like the court heard our concerns and the physicians in North Dakota's concerns about a law we felt that went too far. But Wrigley said in a statement that the judge's decision contained flaws in his analysis. Judge Romanek's opinion inappropriately casts aside the law crafted by the legislative branch of our government and ignores the applicable and controlling case law previously announced by the North Dakota Supreme Court. Romanek was ruling on the state's request to dismiss a 2022 lawsuit filed by the Red River Clinic. After the clinic's move, the state argued that a trial wouldn't make a difference. The judge had canceled the trial set for August. But Romanek cited how North Dakota's constitution guarantees inalienable rights, including life and liberty. The best viewers are already here. True. These bots. I'm so like baffled that they still exist. Maybe Posada bot needs a little on the little update. Because usually PasadaBot does like automatic bans. I just don't even let them through on the Twitch Automod. The abortion statutes at issue in this case, how are they not getting caught? I don't know. The abortion statutes at issue in this case infringe on a woman's fundamental right to procreative autonomy and are not narrowly tailored to promote women's health or to protect unborn human life, he wrote in his 24-page order. The law as currently drafted takes away a woman's liberty and her right to pursue and obtain safety and happiness. I mean, yeah. Judge Dominic did a tour in the JAG Corps, making him educated in common sense. Mitra Mezdaya, reading chat, staff attorney at the Center for Reproductive Rights, which supports the abortion rights and challenged state bans, said that the ruling means it is now safer to be pregnant in North Dakota, but she said that clinics can take years to open. The destructive impacts of abortion bans are felt long after they're struck down. North Dakota elects both its Supreme Court justices and District Court justices, but contests are nonpartisan. Dominic was first elected a judge in 2000 and has been re-elected every 6 years since, most recently in 2018. Before serving as a judge, he was an assistant state's attorney in Burleigh County, home to the state capital of Bismarck. Very nice TV. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Folks, you're coming in at the tail end of the stream, but if you want to hang out with us, consider joining the Discord. Consider joining the Discord and hanging out and following the raid wave. Thank you. Very nice TV. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, Arbor Lynn, welcome. Welcome. Welcome back. I appreciate it. Hang tight, folks. We are doing the last article here about North Dakota striking down the abortion ban. Elon made Twitter fascist. Indeed. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. My mother-in-law is going to be pissed. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Welcome, folks. My body, my choice. It is. And North Dakota upheld that concept. Romanek said he'd been left with relatively no idea on how North Dakota's Supreme Court would address the issue, and his ruling was his best effort to apply the law as written to the issue presented while protecting the fundamental rights of the state's residents. Pregnant women in North Dakota have a fundamental right to choose abortion before viability exists under the enumerated and unenumerated interests provided by the North Dakota Constitution, the judge wrote. In many respects, Romanek's order mirrors the one from the Kansas Supreme Court in 2019, declaring that access to abortion a fundamental right under similar provisions in that state's constitution. Though the Kansas court did not limit the ruling to before a fetus is viable, voters in Kansas affirmed that position in a statewide vote in 2022. Romanek concluded that the law is too vague because it does not set clear enough standards for determining whether exceptions apply, leaving doctors open to be prosecuted because others disagree with their judgments. In 2023, North Dakota's Republican-controlled legislature revised the state abortion laws, making abortion legal in pregnancies caused by rape or incest, but only in the first 6 weeks of pregnancy. Under the revised law, abortion was allowed later in pregnancy and only in specific medical emergencies. Soon after, the clinic, joined by several doctors in obstetrics, gynecology, and maternal fetal medicine, filed an amended complaint. The plaintiffs alleged the abortion ban violates the state constitution because it's unconstitutionally vague about its exceptions for doctors and that its health exception is too narrow. It's nice meeting you, fellow leftist streamer, here to spread the love in the community. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I will also follow you back. I appreciate that. Thank you. Very nice TV. Because laws were created by religious zealots should not be ratified. Oh, I agree. I agree. Romanek acknowledged that when North Dakota became a state in 1889, its founders likely would not have recognized abortion access as a right under the state constitution, but added women were not treated as full and equal citizens. The judge said that in examining history and tradition, he hopes that people will learn that there was a time when we got it wrong and when women didn't have a voice. This does not need to continue for all time, and the sentiments of the past alone need not rule the present for all time. That's amazing, actually. This judge. That's freaking amazing. Women's health care and reproductive rights should not be left to the states. No, it should not. It should not. It shouldn't be. There shouldn't be things that involve rights, things that involve human rights, like the right to bodily autonomy, the right to anything that is an individual right that you have as a human being should not be left to the state. Your right to bodily autonomy, your right to reproductive freedom, your right to obtain the health care that you need is not negotiable. That's not negotiable on a state by state basis. That's a universal thing that needs to be protected wholesale, no matter what. No matter what. I respect the right to bodily autonomy. Awesome. Please go follow Very Nice TV, everyone. She does great work. Awesome. Right, it's a human rights issue. Correct. And therefore, as Very Nice TV pointed out, it cannot be left to the individual states. It just doesn't work when you cross over a state line, you no longer have rights. That's not okay. That's not how this works. Rights are universal and therefore should be protected on a federal level. And in the meantime, we got to do what we can. Hey, Dimesh, how's it going? Welcome back. Society debates at the age in which a person asserts their bodily autonomy. Well, that's not what's a human being has bodily autonomy, period, full stop. But I don't think that's the debate here. I don't think that's the question. Next, the religious right will want to outlaw mental health treatment. They say you just need to pray. Right. Yeah. If they had their way, no doubt about it, Kralio. No doubt about it. If they had their way, no doubt about it. All right, folks. We made it. We made it. Thank you. I appreciate all of you guys hanging out. You guys are what makes this channel grow. Thank you all for stopping by. I appreciate it. Hang tight, folks. We're going to raid in just a moment. Thank you all. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to hit the follow button as a couple of you have already done so. Thank you. I appreciate the raid. Very Nice TV. Thank you for coming in and bringing your wonderful community over. I appreciate that, folks. If you want to support the channel, there are many different ways. Keep hitting the follow button. If you're on the YouTube, I see you. Keep liking the stream and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Join the Discord, folks. Join the Discord. We do monthly movie night events on the last Saturday of the month. So join that Discord. Consider checking out the merch store if you want to support the channel and hitting the exclamation mark tip to tip your streamer. Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you, Heat, and Michael Hassler for modding the chat. I appreciate it. Huge shout out again to Very Nice TV. Thank you. Thank you all. We'll be back Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Thank you all. It's time for me to get some food, folks. I'm hungry. As always, folks, please stay safe. Whoa! Please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love y'all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. See you. Whew. Barely squeaked that one in. Hang tight, folks. My Arby's just arrived. There you go. All right, folks. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye.